Hello, welcome to Harvard Book Referencing Example 1. What we're going to do is take a book, do a reference from it in Harvard format and just show you how to do it. Okay, first thing is I've copied the front cover of a book. You might recognize him. That's Mr. Barack Obama. It's his book. So what we're going to do is write down the name of the author, and then we're going to write down the title of the book. So the title of this book is The Audacity of Hope, and it's also got a subtitle. And then the way that we do a subtitle is we put a colon, a space, and then type the title of the book. Now, as you can see, this is what's known as title case. Title case doesn't mean that every single word starts with a capital letter, but the first word does and the main words do. Little words like of, on and the don't start with a capital letter unless they begin the title. Then put a full stop, space. Okay, that's what the front cover tells us. If we look inside the book, we'll find the contents page. There's one I created earlier. And as you can see at the top, it says the year it was published, who it was published by, and where it was published. So in this case, 2007 is the year it was published. It was published in Edinburgh, and it was published by a company called Canongate. Now, I could type in Canongate Books Limited, but in this case, I'm not going to. I don't think it's necessary. It's just too many words for that. Now you can also see that we've got two other years in here, which seems to make it a little complicated. The first one is that it was first published in the USA in 2006, and even then that was an imprint of a Random House book. Now the thing is, we're not sure that the page numbers are going to be the same between the US edition and the UK edition in this case. So we're going to not use 2006 as the date. We also see that it says this paperback edition was first published in 2008. Now normally the paperback edition has got the same page numbers as the hardback edition. If it's different, they'll say this special paperback edition, and in which case we'd use the year of the paperback edition. But the simplest way is to just use the version at the top. So we've got the main bits that we need for a reference. We just have to reorganize them a little bit. And the way a reference works is this is the references list at the end of the paper that you're doing. And we start off with the surname of the author, then a comma, then their initial, followed by a full stop. Then we do the year, then we do the title of the book, then we do a full stop, space, and then we do the city of publication, where it was published, and the publisher, and then I put a full stop. And the thing we do is the title, we italicize it. So that is what I would consider a perfect reference. Now there are slight variations of Harvard style. Some people don't put commas around the year of publication, for example, but essentially speaking, for a book, that is the right things in the right order, with variations. And the main thing is, when you're doing the referencing for our intents and purposes, is that you are consistent in what goes on there. Now what we're going to do, because we can, is just find a little bit of information, do an actual quote. And here's a page from here, a quote on page 9 in the prologue. Zone that politics has become, in which narrow interests vie for advantage and ideological minorities seek to impose their own versions of absolute truth. We're just going to take a little bit from that. Here's one I created earlier. So I'm going to say politics has become an area where, quote, ideological minorities seek to impose their own versions of absolute truth, end quote. And I'm going to attribute that to Obama in 2007, page 9, in a book published in 2007, page 9. Because he might have changed the wording slightly from 2006 to 2007. As you can see, the in-text reference, this is a bit inside your article, starts with the surname. Now, whatever's there, that surname, should be in, there should be an equivalent one in the reference list. That should match that. Then the next thing that we've got is the year of publication. That should match that. And the next thing here says that it's on page 9. Again, different styles are different. Some people put in a colon. Other people put in a P for page. I don't put in a P because it has one to the word count. Makes it more difficult to get a good essay in the right length of words. Okay, so that's an example of taking a book, taking a quote from the book, doing in-text referencing, and creating the reference list at the end. Thank you.